18-5 since the start of last season, which is tied for the best record in the NFL. They rank 1 and 2 in the AFC in points, yards, in total QBR over that span as well. Look at the numbers right there. A juicy matchup for sure. Tim, who has the edge?
Ooh, I think because it's at home, I'm going to go with KC, even though their defense isn't trustworthy at all and they need to get a lot better. But, man, at home, that fan base is crazy. It's one of the loudest stadiums. And I'm going to give it KC the edge in this one because I think their defense shows up and plays a little bit better. But I think Patrick Mahomes goes off. He knows there's a little pressure on him in this game, and he's going to show that he can rise to the occasion.
Here's my deal, Tim. At some point in time, defense has to matter. When you look at the Kansas City defense, it's horrid. It's no way around it. Now, juxtapose that to the Buffalo Bills. They're number one against the rush. They're number one against the pass. They're number one in yards allowed. They're number one in points allowed. They've got not one but two shutouts on this season. Now I'm looking at this schedule, and I understand where we're coming from. They did shut out the Miami Dolphins. I think that's the game Tua got hurt, okay?
Two shutouts.
Of course, they shut out the Houston Texans as well. That ain't saying much either. I totally get that. Because Deshaun Watson ain't quarterback. Tyrod Taylor's not quarterbacking. We get all of that. But you got two shutouts is two shutouts. Not even allowing a field goal. That says something to me, not just about their defense, but about their mentality and what they know they have to do. And I'm going to think, Tim, that a game like this is going to prioritize stuff for the Buffalo Bills more so than ever before. It's one of those situations where you're not just looking at it from a psychological perspective, needing to beat this team. They beat you in the regular season. They beat you in the postseason as well, the AFC Championship game. You got all of that going on. That's one thing. Here's the other thing to pay attention to. If Buffalo wins this game, if indeed there is a matchup again in the postseason, the likelihood is that it would have to come through Buffalo. I think Buffalo loves their chances against Kansas City if Kansas City got to come to Bills Mafia Nation. I think if they got to do that, I think that there will be, I think that they recognize that that would be a huge, huge push and a huge plus for them. And I think that's why they prioritize a game like this. I'm looking at Josh Allen. I'm looking at Stephon Diggs. I'm looking at the acquisition of Emmanuel Sanders. And I'm saying, excuse me, they got a passing game now. We know they got a running game as well. I'm just looking at it from that standpoint. And if your defense could just get a couple of stops, listen, if you're Buffalo, you should be confident that you can score 30 on this defense. The question is, can you hold Patrick Mahomes to under that? You're talking about stopping him one or two times. That's a tall task. But if anybody can do it, they can do it, Tim.
Stephen A., I hate to say this, but I actually really agree with your point that if Buffalo is able to win and they get to the playoffs, I think Buffalo has a way better shot of getting to the Super Bowl if they're at home, because that is a really tough place to play. And I think we've been able to see that with Kansas City. When they're at home, I mean, it's an unbelievable team. We're on the road. We've seen teams compete even more against them. And I think for Kansas City, you want to find a way to be able to get home field advantage leading into the playoffs. And obviously that should go without saying, but it's a different team at home. And that's why I think this game is crucial for Kansas City. That's why I think Patrick Mahomes, plays outside this world. I think the receivers step up. I think Andy Reid's going to have an incredible game plan. I think he's got a couple things up his sleeves because he knows what a big game this is. That's why I give the edge to KC in this one.
Let me not forget to mention Singletary running the football. He's averaging over 5 yards a carry. Let me remember Cole Beasley as well. It ain't just about Stephon Diggs and Emmanuel Sanders. Cole Beasley has been an integral part of their offense as well. And on the defensive side of the ball, we all know their secondary is nothing to sneeze at. They got 12 sacks, the Buffalo Bills. They got 12 sacks on the season, and it's spread out. A few guys with 2, 1, etc. You know what they get.
But the question is, how are they going to get that, though, Stephen A? Are they going to bring pressure, right? If you bring pressure, that means you're putting guys on islands. I don't know if you really want that against KC, right? Against the playoffs, they played a lot of zone. They kept it in front of them. So what happened then? It was, we're going to check it down. We're going to check it down. We're going to get in third and short, and we're going to methodically move the football down the field. If you pressure, you're going to give KC chances for big plays. I don't know if Buffalo wants that.
What if you rush 4? What if you rush 4 and you don't blitz and you got confident that the 4 guys that you've got can get at the quarterback? Because guess what? Your offensive line, albeit improved, ain't a stout offensive line. You believe you can get to Patrick Mahomes without blitzing. Then guess what? That changes things.
I think that's the answer. It absolutely changes. It changes everything. If you can get home to Patrick Mahomes with 4, you have an absolute chance of disrupting because you can be physical against the receivers and their tight end, but still keep 2 safeties. And I think it changes the scheme for KC offensively.
Listen, it's arguably the best teams in the AFC, right? But we still haven't seen Showtime be Showtime yet. So hopefully this game we will, guys. We've had some great quarterback rivalries over the years. I think most recently comes to mind for me, it would be Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. But Tim, how about now? Would you say Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are potentially the next great quarterback rivalry?
Heck yeah, these two guys are freaks. They're awesome. They're not only the two of the best, but they're also two of the most fun to watch. And I think that is the media is going to hype it up. We're going to make it such a huge game. You have two guys that can have absolute cannons with their arm, but are also super athletic and make plays and are going to dive into the end zone and do fun things. I think we're going to see this rivalry for a long time, both in the AFC, both going to be competing, get to Super Bowls for many years to come, and also in good franchises where the organizations are going to be able to have enough good players for a long time around them, where I think you're going to see games like this for at least the next 10 years, and I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to watch this game because these guys are not only great, but they're also so fun to watch. They're exciting. I think you're going to see huge ratings, and you're going to see an incredible game.
Tim Tebow. You know what? Just when I thought you were coming along because you were seeing things my way, and I was so proud of you as you continue to progress and show that you agree with your boy. You come with this. Come on, man. You know, listen, Josh Allen can play, and we get all of that, but they basically run a well-balanced attack in Buffalo. They run the football just as much, if not more, than they throw the football. We get all of that. Have you seen this dude, Justin Herbert, for the Los Angeles Chargers, who happen to be in the same division as Patrick Mahomes? Have you seen the Chargers play and what a complete package that squad appears to be? I was hanging out with them this past Monday night. I was there at the game, Tim Tebow, at SoFi Stadium. It was beautiful.
Here we
the suites were absolutely immaculate.
Stephen A., how does it always come back to you? How does it always come back to you, your famous friends? Hey, look who I'm taking selfies with.
I'm a man of the people. I'm a man of the people. Listen.
You're a man, but a man of what people? A man of famous people.
A man of all people. A man of all people, Tim Tebow. A man of all people. You'll find out when I come down there to hang out with you at Florida. If Florida could somehow stay relevant, I'll come down again. What is it? Gator Vegas? What did he call it? G Vegas. That's what he called it. You go to G Vegas. I roll in G Vegas.
You remember what I said about it? Yeah.
That's right. I roll down to G Vegas with you. I'm telling you, it'll be box office. But here's the deal, okay? You got Justin Herbert. You got Keenan Allen. You got Williams. You got Cook. I mean, you see these boys. You got Eckler. Look at this. Brandon Staley's proven to be a really good coach. Their defense, there's nothing to sneeze at. They're in the same division as Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. You got a quarterback in Justin Herbert who's about 6'6", 6'7", with a rifle of an arm himself, only in his second year in the National Football League, and flat out balling. How could you sit up there and think that Josh Allen is more like, I understand they both could be potential rivals, but when I think about a rivalry, I'm thinking about a guy that's in the same division as Patrick Mahomes, who Patrick Mahomes is going to have to contend with just to finish in first place in his own division. That comes first to me.
I thought it was
long before I think Buffalo.
Lamar Jackson
but
and Patrick
hold on,
Mahomes, apparently not.
I thought the example was Tom Brady against Peyton Manning. Were they in the same division?
No.
Oh, wait. No.
They were in the same conference, yes. They weren't in the same division. But we also have to remember this, and here's the part that you're missing, Tim. When we thought about them, we thought about each other standing in the way of a berth to the Super Bowl because they were the two elite teams in the conference. I understand we could say that about Buffalo, but we can also say that about the Chargers. See, the Chargers are just as relevant and just as much of a player as a threat to the Kansas City Chiefs as the Buffalo Bills. That's why I bring
Stephen
that up.
your whole point was just about how good Buffalo is, and Buffalo has the edge, and their running game, their defense, all of this. You literally just changed your points.
I did not change my point. I'm acknowledging that the Buffalo Bills are what they are, but I didn't ignore the Chargers. They didn't ask me a question about the Chargers, Tim Tebow. Don't try to catch me. I know exactly what I'm saying. The Chargers are just as much of a formidable threat as the Buffalo Bills at this particular moment in time. The difference is Herbert is in the same division as Mahomes, and Josh Allen is not.
So why don't you make the rivalry Herbert and not Allen then? If Buffalo's going to be able to take this next step.
Well, you know what I'm thinking of. You know, you gotta win the division, And then whoever doesn't win the division is a wild card, and it's all about who you face first. But I'm thinking
I
about.
think Josh Allen's just not a sexy enough name
listen,
for you. And I know how you are.
I like Josh Allen.
He's not
I like Josh Allen.
For you.
I like Josh Allen a lot. I'm not keen on the weather in Buffalo.
See?
I'll confess that. I mean, when it comes down to it, I'd rather think about L.A. than Buffalo.
See, Tim?
I'll be the first to admit that. Yeah. But
Hey,
that's
why don't you ever go to? Hey, Stephen A. Why don't you ever go to Buffalo and take selfies there? Why is it always got to be like Los Angeles?
It's cold. It's cold there. It's cold there. I'm not. Why would I go to Buffalo? Do you know, Tim? Do you know one time years ago
Great
fantastic fan base, nice city, but damn it, it's cold. I had to go up when I was covering Temple University. I had to take a trip to St. Bonaventure. And in order to get to St. Bonaventure, I had to fly into Buffalo.
Oh, my gosh. Should I
pick
up my tiny violin?
It was hard. It was hard.
It's a hard life out for you.
It was
It's
very,
hard
very
in these
hard and
streets.
cold.
I love it.
Sometimes it always in this hostile environment.
Tim Tebow and Molly are nobody to talk. Tim Tebow's always in Florida, always in warm weather, and don't get me started, Miss LA.
I'm wherever you are. What are you talking about?
Somehow it always comes back to story time with Stephen A.
Really?
Yes, exactly. Do you want to compliment yourself one more time before we go to break?
No, no, not at all. Not at all. Even, I mean, I'm on the air with somebody who looks better than me. But for 53, about to be 54 years old, I must have.
Hey, Molly, do you think we could ask one of the producers to come pat Stephen A on the back for a little bit?
That's right.
Yeah. I know. I'm working on his confidence. I think it's coming together.
I'm on the air with one of the few dudes on the planet that I think will look better than me when he reaches age 54, which is what I'm approaching. That's what I'm going to say to that.
Okay.
And we can move on.
We'll leave it there. You both look great. Still to come, Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow have one of the closest player-coach relationships in recent memory. What advice would Tim give to his former coach in just a bit? Looking forward to hearing